Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. I can only go where my caucus leads, and they're asking me to continue speaking, Mr. Speaker. Or I can do no other. I'm but their humble servant, Mr. Speaker. And so that's Mr. Speaker. The member across the way is also very humble, and he has much to be humble about indeed, Mr. Speaker, as does his entire government. Mr. Speaker, today I rise to speak about false liberal advertising. What we have in the private sector are laws that could lead to the criminal prosecution of any business that advertises one thing and delivers the opposite. Yep. If somebody goes on television and tries to sell a product and then fails to deliver it after collecting payment, they can be sued civilly. That's right. And maybe even charged criminally. But weirdly, in politics, we call it lawmaking. We have a prime minister who literally brings programs before the House of Commons that do exactly the opposite of what they say. Yep. So for example, he says that he's going to spend these millions of dollars buying back hunting rifles. What has this resulted in? 100% increase in violent crime. Yep. He has a program that he says will help protect the media that has actually removed the media from social networks. He is a prime minister, we have a prime minister who has an $87 billion affordable housing program that has doubled the cost of housing. This is the exact opposite of what he promised, and yet he took billions of dollars from Canadians in order to pay for it. He has, for example, they were busy trumpeting their idea of a affordable food program for kids, and then we found out that there's no food in the program. Exactly. We found out what the program does. It doesn't provide a single dollar for food. Here's what it does, and I've got it right from the bill. The minister must, in consultation with the Minister of Health, representatives of the provincial governments responsible for health and education, other relevant stakeholders in the fields, and representatives of Indigenous governing bodies, develop a national framework to establish a school food program. So let's just walk through all the steps. Because we know that normally in the real world, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, but there were many points that were unrelated to kids actually having food in their bellies. One, that one minister would consult with another federal minister, who will consult with provincial ministers, who will consult with stakeholders, which is code for lobbyists, who will then develop a national framework to establish a school food program. So I note that the bill actually didn't provide a single dollar to source anything of nutritional value. Exactly. Not a single calorie of nutrition is funded by the bill. So it doesn't feed kids, it feeds bureaucracy. That's right. This is an example of all of the wonderful labels and slogans they put on their spending that actually doesn't deliver anything to the end user. That's right. It is more self-service, not public service, self-service of the bigger and fatter bureaucracy and the ecosystem of lobbyists, interest groups, researchers, bureaucrats, crown CEOs, contractors, who feast off of all the money that is hidden under these beautiful and unimpeachable slogans. You know, the beautiful "Let's Protect Innocent Kittens Act." Well, we'll spend $1 billion on that, but we'll hire a bureaucrat who will create a department that will consult with paid interest groups, who will contract out their report writing to those who have expertise in PowerPoints, and we'll have hundreds of people feeding off of this program, and the poor little kittens will be forgotten about at the end. The kittens, Mr. Speaker.
The kittens.
Who thinks of the kittens? They don't actually get anything. That's right. Not even a little bit of milk, Mr. Speaker, because they'll carbon tax that as well. But that is the system that we have in this government. They spend more to achieve less.